Hello everyone, welcome to Coursebook Reviewers, where we review coursebook that no one has. The book we are going to review today is English 8th grade students book, written by Carolina Soto, Hugh Curwen, and Susana Ponton. This English textbook, published by the Minister of Education, is designed for 8th grade students. As the title suggests, it contains 4 units: Information and Communication Technologies, Countries, Cultures and Customs, Going Places, and Future Matters, each with 2 lessons. The unit that we have decided to review and evaluate is Unit 1, Information and Communication Technologies. The reason why we choose this unit for reviewing is because it is the starting unit of the coursebook. In other words, it's how the coursebook presents itself to the learner, how the activities are going to be, how the organization is going to be, what strategies are going to use, etc. About that, if we start from the second unit, for example, there could be some knowledge from the first unit that it is necessary to know to do certain activities. Without further ado, let's reviewing this course book.
First off, the language focus. The focus of the coursebook is very holistic and complete, having a variety of activities related to the unit, in this case, technology. The grammar and vocabulary are applied in a natural way, being in readings and listening or in activities of writing or discussion. These activities are used as inputs and scaffolding to concepts for future, subsequent activities. First, the vocabulary is presented to the students with a listening or a reading. For example, in the first lesson of the unit, the students are presented with vocabulary with a listening section referring to the functions of the cell phone, for what it's used for and what characteristic it has, functioning as an input for the learner. Then, the students discuss the characteristics of the cell phone, in pairs or in groups. The textbook efficiently integrates peer collaboration throughout all units, using community language teaching effectively thanks to the previous scaffolding activities, and also being the interaction and output. Nothing more. After the vocabulary is presented, and if we go to a different page of the same lesson, there are grammar activities on how to express quantities. The output is also present in this activity. Above that, there are plenty of opportunities for learners to receive input from the textbook and peers, and for us teachers to analyze the output, since at the very end of every activity there are group discussions and answer checklists. In conclusion, the focus of language is complete and efficient to the learner, using scaffolding necessary for more difficult and knowledge-enriching activities. And lastly, their interaction output and input are present in the activities. Next topic: task-based learning. The book has plenty of activities based on tasks and learning. To put an example, the last activity in Unit 1, Lesson 1, the students must develop an app where they have to think of a need and what kind of app they are going to develop. Then, describe it and encourage different classmates and people to download their app, mentioning the different benefits and convincing everyone to do so. The type of task is also effective since it uses social constructivism theory. The activities are clearly focused on learners and building knowledge within each other based on communication and discussion activities. For the next one, we have
Cultural inclusivity. Does this coursebook have cultural inclusivity? Yes and no. The lesson we are specifically reviewing doesn't have any social inclusivity. It's very neutral and it doesn't make any highlight of any ethnicity. But there is a unit focused on cultures and social groups, so we can say that the book doesn't have any inclusivity. To make it brief, since this is in the unit we're talking, this unit is focused on the activities of different cultures, places around the world, and lastly, some information about certain social groups. In conclusion, this lesson particularly doesn't have any cultural inclusivity, but the coursebook itself does. Next topic.
reading and listening activities. There are a variety of texts about the history of the cell phone, tutorials about mobile apps, and even how they can be distracting. This last subject is shared and discussed between students, with the purpose of discovering how to avoid said distractiveness. Also, there are different kinds of questions and activities that provide the learners critical thinking, just as the discussion said before, and promote ways to engage with the topic on their own or with their classmates. An example that supports this point is a question related to the reading activity about why are mobile applications an essential part of our lives, which brings awareness to every student while taking student comprehension into account. There are also a variety of listening activities, as in page 18, with pre, while, and post listening activities. Are they meaningful? Yes, since it works with a topic that is relevant for them and also present in their daily life, the world of technology and communication. This subject is very close and important for the learners, because of exponential growth of the internet and technology worldwide. Talking about how online communications works and how apps promote and interfere with students' learning process. One example is the inclusion of a comic talking about some apps distracting a student for completing his homework, making a reference on how the students could also be distracted by the same apps of the student of the comic.
Hey, yo, Javier, we need to do the interview now. Oh, you're asleep. Wow.
Alright, Javier, do you think this coursebook has the 4 skills of English in it? Yes, of course it does. Along all the coursebook, we see the 4 activities applied, and I'd like to give an example from the Unit 1, specifically Unit 1 about technology.
And do you think that this coursebook is aligned with the Chilean curriculum?
Yes, I think it does because the Chilean curriculum and this coursebook has the same name of the units. To give you more examples about how these are connected, we have the UA activities related about speaking and writing and reading and listening. More specifically, we have listening, where you have to listen to some audios about the history and evolution of cell phones and technology. And with the reading, we have post, pre, and while reading a thinking situation, or more about critical thinking and more reflection.
And with all those activities, do you have something more in context, like using CLT, for example?
Yes, we have some pages, page 13 and 16, and we can see there more CLT applied.
Point 4. Critical reflection. The context of the book is enough to fill an activity by itself, but it is decontextualized with the current world. For example, the first activity talks about applications and what they are used for. But students know what applications are, and some uses them as tools. Alternatively, we as teachers must focus on another topic, as it can be a more educational approach to digital life and a correct use of AI tools. This is a more actual approach, and we can give a different point of view to modern technologies. There is one element in the unit that is completely disconnected from the rest of the vocabulary. On the Unit 1, in page 7, section 1, there is an activity about quantities that is not used in the rest of the unit, only in this specific part. Of course, in the curricula it's there too, but it doesn't make any sense to talk about one topic with the respective vocabulary and then evade it in your design. To talk about other vocabulary that you never are going to use again or give any attention. This can be changed by just adjusting the content and transferring the topic of quantities to another unit.
In this coursebook, we are presented with a variety of engaging opportunities to learn and apply English. This can be done alone or in groups, through different learning instances. The coursebook shows a mixed approach, since you can find communicative focus and form focus equally throughout the book. It is well aligned with the 8th grade Chilean curriculum and provides contextualized learning that is relevant for the student's daily life. This book effectively provides instances to create meaningful learning through task-based learning in cooperating with peers. It also provides contents opportunity to reflect and use metacognition at the end of every activity, to deeply understand what did they learn and encourage an improvement to long-term memory lessons.